Hey fam, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving straight into the middle of the action, the Dolton swearing-in ceremony. The energy in that room was something else. New Mayor Jason House stood tall, right hand raised, with the incoming trustees by his side. The crowd? On fire. The vibe? Electric. And if you've been following the chaos that's been rocking Dolton and the circus inside Thornton Township, you already know this wasn't politics as usual. This was theater. Here's the headline. Tiffany Henyard, the once untouchable powerhouse who ran both Dolton and Thornton Township with an iron grip, just lost everything. Voters sent her packing after one chaotic term as mayor. Then, in a move that stunned even her closest allies, a caucus stripped her of her title as Thornton Township supervisor. Overnight, her empire collapsed. And the aftershocks? Still shaking every corner of the south suburbs, that's the story we're breaking down today. How Tiffany went from unstoppable to unemployed, how her grip on two governments came undone, and what this new leadership means for the people of Dolton. Oh, and that lawsuit she filed to fight it all? Dismissed. Tossed right out. Her response? In pure Tiffany fashion. I will be suing everybody tomorrow. This is illegal. This is illegal. In your face. That wasn't a parody. That was real life. SO, if you're watching this, like, wait, what did she just say? Or wondering how this all exploded so fast. Don't worry. We've got you. This channel's got full breakdowns of Tiffany's scandals, the controversies, the corruption, the chaos, everything that led to this downfall. Because once you see the full picture, you'll understand exactly why Dolton and Thornton finally said, enough. The curtain dropped. The show ended. And change stormed in. But today isn't just about Tiffany's crash. It's about the reset. The spotlight now belongs to Jason House, and the trustees stepping into power. This wasn't a normal swearing in. This was a hard reboot for a broken community, and you could feel it in the air. I pulled the rawest moments from those speeches, and when the trustees talk about working under Tiffany's shadow, man, it was unfiltered. It was emotional, and it hit like truth finally breaking through. Before we jump in, do me a solid. If you're new here, hit that like button so you don't miss what really matters. And if you've been rocking with us, smash it again. It helps push these stories out to people who need to hear them. Because this wasn't just a ceremony. It was history. It was a political turning point. And you're about to see it all unfold. Right here, if you've been following the whirlwind inside Dolton and Thornton Township, you know it's been pure chaos. But if this is your first time stepping into the madness, buckle up. This channel is packed with deep dives on Tiffany's reign of controversy, the scandals that stacked up, and the final straw that forced residents to take their power back. After years of frustration, the people finally drew their line in the sand. But this day, this moment, belonged to Jason House. He took the oath as Dolton's new mayor, standing beside a fresh slate of trustees who looked ready to rebuild from the ground up. And it didn't feel routine. It felt like rebirth. A long overdue reset for a town desperate for honesty, transparency, and hope. When those speeches started rolling, you could hear it. The relief, the freedom, the truth they'd been waiting to say for years. And then came Tiffany's exit. And let's be real, she didn't go quietly. She stormed out in true Tiffany fashion, fire blazing, ego intact. She reminded everyone she was Dolton's first black female mayor, throwing her title around like armor. Y'all know I'm the first, the youngest female mayor. Female, stop following blindly. Educate yourself, she said. Casting herself as a victim, she accused her critics of keeping up confusion. It wasn't farewell, it was a fight scene. Then, in a bizarre twist, she tried to pull a unity moment. She turned to the crowd and said, "Neighbor, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it." For a second, it almost felt genuine until she flipped it. She went right back to finger-pointing, blaming others for everything that went wrong, and delivered one last stinger. They asked if I'm going to sing the same song they sang when I lost. I said no, I'm not returning ignorance with ignorance. That jab? Sharp and personal. Everyone in that room knew exactly who she meant. And that's what made it sting. Because the whole room remembered when she did that exact same thing, mocking trusty Edward Steve after he lost his seat. Steve, who was battling multiple sclerosis, gave a heartfelt goodbye. But Tiffany, she grabbed the mic and started singing, Na na hey hey, kiss him goodbye. Petty, cool, unforgettable. So hearing her talk about not returning ignorance with ignorance now, that was rich. It was a full circle moment nobody expected, and one she definitely didn't want. Then the spotlight shifted. Trustee Brittany Norwood stepped up and gave an emotional speech that cracked the room wide open. She spoke about campaigning in freezing weather, neighbors showing up with coffee and hand warmers, and how every single vote felt like hope in her hands. She admitted her moments of self-doubt, leaning on prayer and her mom before big meetings. Once inspired by Henyard's promises, Norwood now stood as proof of something real. Leadership rooted in service, not ego. Next up was Trustee Kiana Elsher, and she came with fire. She thanked God and her family for carrying her through storms that left her drained and scarred. She reminded everyone she once won in a landslide, 82% of the vote, as Dolton's first female mayor. But then came the raw betrayal. "How dare you backstab me?" she shouted, her voice trembling with anger. For a moment, her tone echoed Tiffany Henyard so closely that the room froze. Was she defending her or cutting ties for good? Either way, her words showed how deep the wounds still run. Then came Jason House. His presence was a calm after the storm. No theatrics, no ego, no speeches meant to stir drama. Just quiet resolve, a focus on accountability, service, and listening. And in that calm, the power was undeniable. After years of chaos, Dolton didn't want to show anymore. They wanted real leadership. And with House, residents finally saw the possibility of peace over spectacle. Clerk Allison Kirk brought it all full circle. She recalled meeting House nearly 20 years ago, when he knocked on her door campaigning against political giant William Shaw. His clarity impressed her so much, she wrote a check that same night. And now, decades later, that same man stood as mayor. Kirk admitted the last few years had drained her, but faith and community resilience made this moment feel like more than a win. It felt like redemption. When the oath came, it sealed everything. In a split screen of memory, House's 2021 swearing-in as trustee played against his 2025 inauguration as mayor. Same setting, same presence. But this time, the stakes were higher. A young family member held the Bible, reminding everyone this wasn't just politics. This was legacy. Jason House's rise isn't just a story, it's Dolton's. After years of scandal, corruption, and viral drama, the people chose something different. Leaders who listen, leaders who serve, leaders who deliver. The storm isn't gone, but the direction has shifted. And that shift is historic. So now the question becomes, what's next? The work starts now. Dolton's story is still being written. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Backhand index pointing right, what do you want to see from Jason House's leadership? And if you believe this turning point matters, hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in. Because this isn't the end, it's only the beginning.